I've spent the last 6 years using my background in science and learning from all the brilliant experiences I've had with my students. And now I've left the old style of teaching and taken the plunge to create new ways to grow myself for my students. The real question is, how will I help other teachers ditch the old mindset without rules or laws completely from scratch? This podcast is here to give you the answer. Join me and follow along as I learn, apply, and share real tested classroom strategies to grow my abilities and strengths using only today's best practices. My name is Juan Campos, and welcome to Seal It With a Smile, Self-Driven Radio. To Self-Driven Radio, my name is Juan Campos, and thank you so much for joining me here on the podcast. Whether you're watching me on YouTube or you're listening on Spotify or Google Play or Apple iTunes, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that button so you don't miss another episode. Today is episode 51, and I just want to say thank you to all the people that have been listening or watching, because we are now past 4,000 downloads. It's amazing. It's incredible. I'm just super excited. The podcast has grown every single month, and it's been tremendous growth, and we just can't thank you enough for your listening, but hopefully you're gaining enough so you can actually implement this in your classroom and beyond your classroom too, because it's not just about how you are in the classroom, but it's also who you are as a person, how you can best take care of yourself, and again, how can you express your fullest potential, not only in the classroom, but outside of the classroom. So again, thank you so much for checking us out, for listening to the podcast, and here we are, episode 51. Now, hopefully you are already on your Thanksgiving vacation or you're on your Thanksgiving break, and I really hope you're enjoying some time with your loved ones, whether it's your fur babies or your other more genetically closer babies or your friends or your family or whoever you are with. I really hope you're enjoying this time, because it is essential. It is absolutely essential that you take care of yourself and you take that time that you need to relax and to enjoy yourself and to take care of yourself, because if you're not taking care of yourself, you can't be effective in the classroom. It's just not possible, because we have to be our best selves in order for us to be our best selves in the classroom. Now, with that being said, and this being Thanksgiving break, I do want to offer you a perspective in which we should be very thankful that we are teachers and we are educators, whether you're an admin or wherever, but we should actually be thankful for the fact that we are in education. Now, this might sound a little weird, and this might sound a little not unnatural, but just counterintuitive, because there's so many people that are like, well, there's so many problems in education, and we have so many faults, and there's just so many issues, and this and that and the other. And while that's all true, and I'm not dismissing any of the very urgent, very serious needs that we need that to be addressed in the classroom on a global scale, not even just here in this country, it doesn't take away from the fact that there is a certain sense of gratitude that I feel every time I step into the classroom, especially as a teacher, because I believe it or not, I am very, very grateful and very thankful that I'm a teacher. And it took me a few years to come to this conclusion and to figure this out, but it doesn't take away from the fact that I feel that way. And my conclusion comes from the fact that it took me a long time. It took me 2 years to figure out just how important you being you in the classroom is. Kids are probably, and let me just tell you the story. So I'm in the classroom, and it's my first year teaching, and I'm looking at this classroom, and I remember it was my second period class, and they were not happy with me at all. They weren't listening. They weren't paying attention to me. Now I'll admit, this is my first year teaching, and I was not in myself the way I am right now. I'm definitely not as good a teacher. I just felt really, really bad. And for some reason though, it kind of hung my shoulders, and I was just like, what do I do? Because I didn't want to be that teacher. I didn't want to be that person. So needless to say, I'm like I said, this probably around this time of year, I'm trying to do a lesson, and I'm teaching chemistry, teaching science, and the kids aren't connecting, and they're not connecting with me, and they're not really plugged in. And I just had a moment, and I just kind of shrugged my shoulders. And I'm like, man, this is not working. And there's a lot of first year teachers that have that moment when they're just like, what am I doing? This isn't for me. I made a mistake. I need to get out of here. Where's the nearest exit? And actually, believe it or not, if you're a first year, second year, even third year teacher, I promise you that is a normal response. Normal. It's actually okay. So hang in there. Okay, that's part of what today is too. So hang in there. I'm gonna take care of you. All right, just give me a second. So anyways, so I'm here. I'm this brand new teacher, never taught before, don't have any background in education whatsoever aside from my beekeeping classes, which I taught for 2 years. I am a beekeeper. I've been a beekeeper for about 10 plus years. So I did teach beekeeping classes to kids as young as 7 and as old as 81. She was from France, amazing lady, beautiful lady, and that's pretty much all my teaching. So here I am a few months in, and I'm doing what I thought was best, and it didn't work. And now I'm just kind of sitting there, and I'm standing there, and I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? And I'll never forget that the student in front of me, she was just kind of staring at me, and these are sophomores. And I purposely, and I don't know why, but I purposefully really tried hard in this particular class to not yell. But she told me, no, you need to yell at us. And I looked at her and I'm like, why do I need to yell at you? She's like, because you need to yell at us, because that's what teachers do. Teachers yell at us. And you're not yelling at us. And you haven't yelled at us enough. She's like, if I was a teacher, I would have yelled at all these kids already. So, excuse me. So her response was the one thing that I had been working so diligently, so hard at not doing. The one thing that I didn't want to do, this particular student was telling me to do. Now, some background on her. She came from the largest district and I'm not going to name it, but she came from the largest district that all the teachers in this district, that's what they did. Every single teacher did that. She's used to it. She's used to being yelled at. And so you have all these kids that are looking around and they're kind of wondering, why aren't you doing the same thing that they're so used to? And that's when I had my moment, because then I realized, okay, wait a minute. I need to be better than this. And I need to not show this student what they're used to, because what they're used to is garbage. Like why are all the adults that this child ever interacted with yelling at them, especially in a classroom? Like, how is that even moderately conducive to yelling, to learning? How is that even possible? And then that opened up a discussion. And the discussion got into, well, how many teachers started yelling? And then everybody started getting involved in the discussion. And we didn't have class that day. I mean, we just got into the fact that every student pretty much in that classroom was so used to teachers yelling and screaming at them, and they were just used to it. And so when you didn't do it, they just kind of didn't take you seriously, and they just kind of blew you off. And then I got some feedback saying that I was too nice of a guy. I was like, well, you're just too nice, and you're just, you're kind of a pushover, and you don't really, you're not really like aggressive or assertive. And I just kept looking at them, and I just said, but that's not who I am. That's not who I am. I mean, I can get angry. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I think most people can get angry, and I've had, some really not good moments, but I was really working hard on myself to be this used to someone trying to do something different. But I will say this. After that conversation, after we really just kind of had this really intense, honest talk about what their classroom experiences were up until this point, what they were used to, what they were really accustomed to, really, that's really what it was. Then the next day I said, okay, I'm going to try to be a little bit more assertive. I'm going to try to be maybe a little bit more, I don't know. There's that saying, don't smile until December. I don't really believe that. And trust me, there's a lot of teachers at this point that told me don't do that because it's not going to work. It's all about relationships. And I just said, okay, well, I'm going to try to be a little, just a little bit more assertive, a little bit more this, a little bit more that. And when I walked into that classroom the next time, and I had the discussion with these, and I just started going through my thing, they were listening to me. It didn't take work, and the attitude that I thought I needed, I didn't need anymore because they were just kind of following along, and I realized I built a connection with them, and I realized that discussion, that one particular day, even though we didn't get a lot of stuff done, guess what? It more than made up for that time missing, was made up for because, excuse me, every day after that, we just connected and we clicked, and we would have these other discussions, and things led to other discussions. And, we would sometimes push through a lesson because they had a question that they wanted to ask me. And sometimes it was related to chemistry and sometimes it wasn't. But either way, I was like, you know what? Let's just get through some of this work. Let's just do some of this stuff. Let's just get through this lesson. And then afterwards we can talk about it. And they're like, yeah. And they would get excited. And then eventually we started building this really good connection. And then they started asking me about like actual chemistry stuff because they started getting interested in the things that I was actually teaching instead of other stuff. And it just built. And it made me realize, not the first year, but into the second year, it made me realize just how important it is to be yourself in the classroom. That's what these kids want, and that's what they really, really need. They need that authenticity because guess what? They are going through tremendous growth, whether it's a kindergartner, a first grader, a second grader, a middle schooler, or a high schooler. These are kids that are going through a tremendous amount of growth, and they're trying to figure it out. And guess what? So are you, and so am I. We are all trying to figure this out together. So the more authentic you can be, the more real you can be. It means you're going to be someone that they can trust, that you can be honest with. And if they trust you and you can be honest with them and they know that, then anything that comes out of your mouth, whether it's a lesson, whether it's, God forbid, a worksheet, but whatever you need to express to them and to help them and to get them to learn for that particular day, they will now believe and learn and trust because they know you are authentic and you are the real deal. And that is the biggest difference and the most important reason why I'm so focused on self-awareness. But why should we be thankful for being in education? Why should we be thankful for being teachers or being admin or whatever your role is in education? This is why. The number one reason. Because teaching, if your whole heart is into it, if you're really into it, if you're really trying to be the best teacher you can be, teaching will help you become a better person. That's right. Teaching will help you become a better person. As a teacher and as an educator, as someone in the classroom or involved in education, if you really put your whole heart into it, guess what? You will develop a self-awareness that just doesn't exist in other professions, I don't think, because kids are self-aware because they're going through the same journey. And if you are willing to put your heart into it and you're willing to grow your self-awareness, you are going to meet them, form that relationship, and become a better person because they need you to be a better person every single day. They need that. They need that mentorship. They need that guidance. They need someone to look up to and say, hey, I don't know how to figure life out. I don't know how to do X, Y, and Z, but guess what? I think he has the idea. I think she has an idea. And if maybe I kind of do what he or she does, that'll get me through this. Or, you know what? I don't know how to do this problem, but I guess what? She's the teacher and she knows how to do it. Or he's the teacher and he knows how to do it. So let me really start paying attention in class now because I really want to get this A, or really want to, go to recess, or whatever the situation is. And I trust them, and they seem authentic, and they seem real. It has made me a better person. It really, really has. It's definitely changed my life for the better. It's definitely helped me understand myself, and because of everything that I've done in the classroom, this is, the fruit of that has been the teachers understand your value. I mean, golly, you are just so important. I can't even stress this enough, because here's the thing. Chances are, if you've been in the classroom for a few years, you're a really cool person. Teachers are some of the coolest people I've ever met. I mean, honestly, we are such a rare breed. Good teachers, like awesome, been in the classroom, know what they're doing. The teacher that says, I don't care what kind of admin comes into my room, I'm going to do my own thing. That person, you are an awesome individual. You are an awesome human being. And I'm not just saying that. I really mean that. Like, it takes a very special kind of person to teach, to be in the classroom, and to have those kind of experiences. So life transforming experience, because it is life transforming. It absolutely is. And that's why I'm so thankful for it. And that's why I'm so appreciative of every opportunity I've had in the classroom, of every opportunity I've had to teach students, and to know other educators, and to know other people, and just to work with some amazing human beings who are just awesome. They're just awesome human beings. So with that being said, be thankful. Be thankful for the opportunity you have to impact teachers, your fellow teachers, but also to impact other students, to impact the next generation. Be thankful for the opportunity that you can really make a difference in somebody's life. And guess what? You do make a difference. You do make a difference in somebody's life just by being who you are. And the better version you are of you, the best version you are of you, the absolutely better your kids will be, because they can lock on and look up to you and see you as someone that they can role model and they can try to become, because you are awesome. You are awesome. So not only am I thankful for my years of education from being a teacher, and for hopefully this all helping me become a better person, which I think it has, but also I'm also thankful for you and for giving of yourself, because that's so important that we do that we not only do that for ourselves, but that we take care of each other. So incredibly important. Remember, hashtag love first, hashtag seal with a smile. So there it is. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. Thank you so much for everything you do in the classroom. I hope you guys have a really wonderful break. Enjoy yourselves. Take the time off. Relax. If you want to listen to other episodes, go ahead and click on those other episodes too. You can do that as well. Or you can check out the YouTube channel. Or if you're really, really up for it, you have some free resources. Click on any of my social media links. That'll get you to the free PDF and free online class. And if you are ready to really elevate your profession, go ahead and click on that link in my social media profile. I'll take you directly to this the Self-Driven Classroom webpage. Tell your admin to take care of it. Tell your admin, hey, I want this. And hey, admin, guess what? Your teachers need this. Your teachers absolutely need this, because you don't know how to take care of them, and you don't know how to make them take care of their students. But this is the way, through developing self-awareness. Take care of your teachers so your teachers can take care of them. Got it? Good. Happy Thanksgiving. Take care of yourself. Hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much for joining me here on the podcast. My name is Juan Campos. Want even more great Seal with a Smile content? Click the link on any of my social media sites, and there you will have access to my free online ebook, The 5 Seal with a Smile Secrets. And that will prepare you for my main course, The Self-Driven Classroom. This course will help you develop your self-awareness for a truly transformational classroom experience, not only for you, but for your kids. Remember, you are the most important person in that classroom. Learn to take care of your Maslows for their blooms. Be well, take care, and I will see you in the course.